What if peace wasn't something distant, but something we practice together? Presented by New Thought Media Network, this is the Peace Dialogues with Reverend Christy Semple. Hear from today's peace influencers. Discover new perspectives on growing peace. Explore practical spirituality you can live every day. Because peace isn't just an idea, it's a way of being. Find out how you can become a peace influencer too. The Peace Dialogues with Reverend Christy Semple. Thursdays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network. And now, here's Rev Christy.
Good morning, and welcome to Peace Dialogues. I should say good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining us from. And welcome to Peace Dialogues here, where we inspire new awareness that the garden of peace is growing in our world, and the seeds of peace are being planted and nurtured by people just like you and me every day through practical spirituality in real life. And each week, including today, we hear from peace influencers who are involved in activities that are inspiring peace in our world every day, right now. And we'll learn a whole new perspective on what it really means to grow peace and how we can be peace influencers too. And I'm your host, Reverend Christy Semple, a fellow gardener with you in the Garden of Peace in our world. And we're going to have a peace dialogue today that will help us to open our eyes, to have new eyes to see that peace really is happening right here and right now. And so I'm so excited that we have a peace squad today. Oh my goodness, 4 of us, myself as the host and 3 guests, and all of us are part of the CSL Global Heart of Peace Initiative. And so welcome all of you. I'm so grateful that we are here together, and we have a lot of rich background that we're going to be in activities and wisdom that we're going to be sharing here this morning. And I'm going to give a brief introduction for each speaker. Each is greatly experienced and is going to each have an opportunity talking about their backgrounds, their activities, and again, reminding us of the beautiful peace influencing activities that are happening in our world. And so I'll start with Aldo Yniguez, RScP, spiritual practitioner with the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. And he has warmly facilitated the Heart of Peace meditation there since 2016. And Aldo is dedicated to fostering global harmony through a variety of activities. He's a team member of the CSL Global Heart of Peace with all of us, the CSL Global Heart of Peace Initiative and the Global Outreach Program. And he serves as a Global Heart of Peace Ambassador team lead. And I know he'll be talking about the Peace Ambassador Program. And Aldo brings a fresh and creative approach, an enthusiastic approach to nurturing peace in our world. And we're going to hear from him in moments. And Susan Hoskins, welcome. You see with I Am Humanity, and she's the founder of the Human Spirit Institute and the executive director of I Am Humanity, which is a global initiative dedicated to the flourishing of humanity for millennia to come. I love that. And its signature project is Humanity Day, a day to celebrate humanity. And I know she's going to be talking about these activities and with immersive workshops and paradigm shifting events, visionary collaborations. She invites a shift from a culture that depletes and exhausts into one that honors the sacred act of renewal. You see, all these keys to peace in our world. And Arnold G Murray, and works with Susan. We'll be hearing more about that. And he's a native Washingtonian and 4th generation, I love that, spiritual leader and visionary author whose work spans the full arc of human experience, from the corridors of the White House to the dimensions of the spirit. You see, bringing all that richness. Author of 2 books, The Insider's Guide to IT Compliance and Protectors of the Sacred Vision, The Journey of Banzai Did I say that correctly? Banzai.
The banzai.
The banzai, yes. And we'll hear more about this. But again, this richness. And he holds a Bachelor of Arts in Theology and Master of Divinity and Doctor of Ministry and Leadership with concentration in human behavior science. So you see all these facets of nurturing. And he works with Susan. He's the lead ambassador for the I Am Humanity movement. And passionate about building meaningful connections and encouraging people to recognize their value while strengthening community through shared service and humanity. So you see these facets, all these facets of peace that are recognized and nurtured by our wonderful guest here today. And as I started my introduction with Aldo. What we're going to do is hear more about what each does and then how that helps to nurture peace in our world, recognizing the truth of who we are. So we'll start with Aldo here, and we can each chime in with our questions and clarification and expansion of what he talks about. So Aldo, we'll start with you.
So good morning, everyone, and greetings from Las Vegas. It's early morning, so I'm just waking up here. Thank you very much, Reverend Christy, for your invitation for this peace podcast thing. I'm so honored to be part of this, and of course, I'm always honored working side by side with you and the rest of our team with the Global Heart of Peace initiative with Dr. Arnold and Susan, of course. And like you mentioned, we've been facilitating the Heart of Peace meditation in our center from Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living for the last 10 years. And this coming November will be our 10th year anniversary event. So we are really planning something big for that. Now, people might wonder what is this Heart of Peace meditation that's going on in our center. So just briefly to describe this is a service that we do. It's a meditation with a sound bath. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And we do silent. We observe silence. We do affirmation, and this is the service that we been doing in our center for every second Wednesday of the month. And now we're also hosting a full Sunday service every fifth Sunday of the month, where the months we have 5 Sundays. That's what I mean. And it's been very successful. We're getting a lot of positive response, and people are saying, the congregants are saying, "Oh, this is different. We want this more of this." So it actually gives a different dimension to the service that we do in our center and within the CSL. And I'm so grateful that we were able to facilitate this in our center, of course, with the support of our senior ministers, with our local senior ministers, to Reverend Stacy and Reverend Cheryl, who've been, supporting and just saying yes to me every time.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah, and
excuse me. Although I wanted to say, and I'm so glad that you're talking about this because it reminds us right here of tools or activities that are out there for us to participate in, and to open up and inquire or look around in your local community, or you offer those live stream, right? And so people can join those. And so right there's something that we can do wherever we are. And I'm glad that you mentioned the 10 years, because it shows that these activities have been going on. You've been continuing to plant and nurture the seeds. It's that continuity, that consistency. So I wanted to, reinforce that, because that's really special. Continue, please.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. And then, just on a side note, because I like when you say garden of peace and grow in the garden of peace, and this is the moment that that garden is being grown, and it's time to harvest and be part of that
Oh,
that growing and that growth that we are now with.
mhm.
And it's very important that we all observe this and cherish this moment, because it's, I think, one of the more basic element of being the togetherness and oneness, not only within yourself but also with the rest of the global community.
Well, that's very good. The global community and now, the moment of now. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that also. To, I mean, it is calling. It really is calling. And peace is always important. But in so many ways, we see it really calling. And so to rise up and be part of that. And a wonderful example. And we'll hear from you again. I'm going to hit some highlights here, and we'll come back because I know there are more activities for you to talk
All right.
about. Thank you for starting us
Oh,
out there. And Susan, we'll have you share about, give us an overview, if you will, of the wonderful activities that you do that are nurturing peace within and around us.
Well, peace is so fundamental and so key and so simple and sometimes so overlooked, you know, and to
Mm-hmm.
bring it into our lives and to have it present in our lives now is what I love about what you're highlighting here today, is to remind us to breathe in and get present to peace. So for me, I just a little bit about me. I was born in Thailand. I grew up in Africa, and my parents were in the State Department and then the United Nations. And I really have taken on wanting to make a difference now in a global conversation. And so when I found I Am Humanity, I felt right at home. And it started in 2020. And our signature project is Humanity Day, and our fifth
Mm-hmm.
Humanity Day is coming up October 24th. And it's a day to celebrate humanity. And inside of celebrating humanity, it includes everybody, everybody, everybody. And that I find that the world is really just hungry to be present to humanity and recognize ourselves as humanity. Like there's a need for that. People really love that. And we have people who write music. Um, so the first time we did it, Humanity Day, we asked what was wanted and needed, and people said we need to keep the conversation alive. So we now have the third Saturday of every month, a global monthly gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of our global monthly gatherings this year were around peace in particular. Um, one is the Women of the Sun. We worked with them, and they talked about how they walk with together barefoot through the streets of Rome and met with the Pope, and
Oh.
it was just a wonderful, wonderful moment of bringing together the women from the Palestinian and the
Mm.
Israeli women together and celebrating that. And then we had another one where we talked with the Buddhist monks that walked from Texas to
Yes.
DC, um,
Mm.
and Banti-san was really bringing us present to peace starts with us. We
Mhm.
also have a number of different partners, which we can talk about what they're doing. We point to the context of humanity flourishing. So our piece is to bring all people together and all different peace movements together. And I'm delighted with what you all do, and I'm so excited to be a part of it and to partner in this way. Um, to be able to highlight our partners, to come together and to celebrate, have that one day where we can all celebrate together peace
Mhm.
and love and connection. There's something that our hearts are wanting as human
Mhm.
beings to come alive and come present. And so thank you for
Oh,
having us here today to speak.
indeed, indeed. And you've mentioned, oh, I love the, reminding us again that the global, and each of you have mentioned that the global idea to remember to think out beyond our ourselves, right? Or our close community, which are very important. And remember the humanity, the human family. And these kind of activities remind us of that and continue to help us open our awareness and open our eyes to humanity, that we are part of this global family. And I love you're talking about the frequency, each of you talking about more the increasing the frequency of your activities, so that the practices and the connection happen, or the conscious connection happen more frequently. I love that. I love that you're all inspired to do that. And we'll hear more about your activities. We'll go back to each of us. And I know that Arnold, you each have, and I love that, you have I Am Humanity and IamHumanity.net there with you, with different email addresses on there. And so, Arnold, tell us about your work with I Am Humanity and with the ambassadors. And we're going to go back to Aldo and talk about ambassadors in just a minute. So, yes, tell us about your role there and the many things that you do.
Excellent. I'll focus on the role of being the lead ambassador. When I think about moving into an area that's unfamiliar, whether that's a geographic area or area of practice, area of life that we're not familiar with, it's great to have someone on the ground. Like if you watch some of the old movies, perhaps even happens today, you get off the airport in a strange land and there's someone there with a big sign with your name on it. And it's, oh, I'm recognized. Ah, I know where to go. And so as a lead ambassador, one of the facets that really excites me is the opportunity for someone to say, I'm in a new place, this I Am Humanity thing. What is this thing? Oh, don't worry, here I am. Let's have a conversation. I'll share with you. And so you can see where you are and where we are, and we're all part of the same family, as you said, Reverend Christie.
Mm-hmm.
And as I think about the opportunities that we are presented, I'm reflecting on a recognized holy book, the Bible, and there's a lesson where we are taught that we're all part of the same body. We've been talking around that, and we just had different roles. And so as we recognize that, oh, you're me, I'm you. Oh, okay. So I can I don't have to worry about you've got that, I've got this part. Let's work together. And so that's the overview of the joy of being part of the I Am Humanity movement, and this new opportunity I've taken on this year, being the first lead ambassador.
Ah, oh, wonderful. Oh, that's a beautiful explanation. And again, that's an affirmation, isn't it? I am humanity, and that awareness and that realization, I am humanity, and part of the same body, the one presence. It's such a profound awareness.
If I may, Reverend Christie, for a
Yes.
moment, we have a practice during our global monthly gatherings that Susan mentioned. We start our time off together with the affirmation. I mean, you spoke to it. We begin with saying, I am humanity, in a breakout session. And we allowed everybody to be with that for a moment. And then we transition to, well, you are humanity. And we sit with that for a moment. And then we complete our few minutes in that formative stage by saying, we are humanity.
Ah, mm-hmm.
I am humanity. You are humanity. We our humanity.
Oh, that's beautiful. And as you're talking about that, I'm recalling how just recently, in recent months, the whole the World Cup, right? The events of the, and when you would look out and see, oh, I thought of that idea. Look at this beautiful reminder of humanity. I mean, when you see all of these people at these events, you think, look at that, they came from all over the world. That's an example. I am each of those, each of them are expressions of humanity, and because we don't always often see all that many people, right, in our day-to-day activities, but we're all here, each of us, all over. And so I'm so glad. I love that practice. I am, you are, we are.
Uh, uh, Allow me just to mention soccer. We love soccer fans that come with all the colors and the gear, and you know we just embrace each other. I mean, your team won. Oh, okay, you won this time. We'll win next time. But something about soccer fans. They'll just come together. Okay, you have those rowdy ones, but but that's such an inhumanity. We wear our colors, our team colors, and we say, "Hey, we're all in the game of life."
There you go. We're
Yeah.
all in the game of life. Oh no, that's very good. Thank you for because here again, it's the day-to-day activities, right, that can remind us. And I love with you talking about being an ambassador. And I want to go back to Aldo and have him talk about the activity with ambassadors, peace ambassadors, and tell us about that. This is an activity of the Global Heart of Peace initiative, and Aldo is the team lead. So let's talk about that, and reminds us how each of us can be part of this, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Reverend Christy, for bringing that up. And thank you for the opportunity that was given to me by the Global Heart of Peace initiative and the Global Outreach to be to lead the program for the Peace Ambassador program. Um, um, Susan was saying something earlier that caught my attention, that peace is overlooked. And I think it's very important that we go back to the basic and to promote and to be the person, or to be the peace that we are. And that's the reason why, one of the reasons why the Peace Ambassador program was initiated within our own team, basically to focus on the peace, promoting peace, and sharing that excuse me, to our, not only to the CSL centers, but again to the global community, expanding this, what we're doing, and what our goals are in line with the Global Heart of Peace initiative program. And we are now developing ways to make this more um, engaging, if that's the word that I need to use, to engage people, not only to be part of it, but to be active and to be it. And I think that's very important, that
Yes.
we focus on that. I mean, this month, I know we have CSL, for somebody, for the rest who's not familiar with. We always have this theme, and I think the theme this month is the fear and the furious, or fearless. Am I?
Oh, a theme, yes. Yes.
So yeah, the next Heart of Peace meditation service that we're doing, the theme is peace is fearless, joyful and plentiful. And you know how fear makes our world so much smaller, and it limits us the space.
Yes.
And I believe, when we go out there, peace doesn't have. I mean, yeah, the world doesn't have to be fearful about it. You know, Arnold mentioned about something. The Bible verse. I'm not also big on Bible verse. That there's one Bible verse that I love, and which is focus on me. not the storm, which is I think from Matthew 11. I don't know, forgot. But I guess we focus on that. We focus on what's bigger out there,
Mhm.
and and I guess I'm again grateful that I Am Humanity is part of this collaboration,
Mhm.
because we are not only big, but we are humanity in
Mhm.
action, you
Oh,
know. And
that's right. Each of us, as you said. And that is what, going back to the peace ambassadors, reminding us earlier in the beginning of the podcast here, we talked about peace influencers, because that's a word we hear today. That each of us in our activities of the day can be peace influencers. We can each be ambassadors. And that's the peace it reminds us that our daily activities, when we have a new awareness of this, when we go out in the world. And, I have, thinking of how we're really, the desire is to remind us of the activities of daily life, right? And the awareness. And, being part of all this gave me an awareness. And I'm going to share an activity that just happened this past weekend. And we'll go back to hearing about what you all do, because each of what you do helps to nurture this awareness and practice in our daily lives. I had mentioned before we started the broadcast here that we have a brand new puppy in our house, brand new. And over the weekend, we drove out. We live in Pennsylvania. We drove out to the state of Indiana to get her. And my daughter had done the communication with the people that, we were going to pick up our little puppy. And she's a miniature, short-haired dachshund, long-haired dachshund. So little teeny. So anyhow, we drove out there, and as we were getting closer to, I noticed, I said, we are in Amish country here. This is in northern Indiana. I didn't have the awareness of that great presence. I was familiar living in Pennsylvania with Amish and Pennsylvania and Ohio, but I wasn't aware. And when we pulled up to the place where we were picking up the puppy, it was an Amish family. We did not know it up until that point. And it reminded me of, some people are familiar with the Amish and they see them riding in carriages and think, oh, that's so odd and different. This is their expression of humanity. It was beautiful. Every farm is beautiful. This little puppy is and they were so kind and so wonderful. And it reminded me, I thought, I am grateful for awareness. And I thought, I'm inspired with a new awareness now that I didn't know of the Amish, the large Amish population out there in Indiana, and I have a new awareness now, but because it reminds us each has a way of expressing, right, in the world and being in the world, and their understanding, and there's so much beauty about that. So I'm just talking about the practical ways that we use these, and I thought it was peace ambassador, peace influencer. Remind each day we have the opportunity, right, to be and to notice and to be aware. And I'm going to go back to you, Susan, because you had talked about awareness. Yes, and I'll invite you to talk more about that and how you help to foster that, and in the activities that you do. And you talked about having the monthly activity now, and it's that fostering awareness, right?
It's interesting. I love the way you picked up on that. There is a power around awareness. Like the moment you recognize something, it gives something existence.
Mm-hmm.
It's so powerful to have that. And when you have we're looking at shifting a global conversation, because we take the assumption that we wake up into, I'm not enough, you're not enough, it's not enough, something like that, like the world's not working maybe. And if we actually take on being an aspect of all of humanity, then everything we do is a gift. I get to contribute. I get to be of service. I get to be of service today to bringing awareness to peace. Like
Yes.
my voice adds to that. Your voice adds to that. Without your voice, without another ambassador, everyone can be an ambassador for peace.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can be an ambassador for stepping into a brighter future. Like
Mm-hmm.
if we collectively step into a brighter future, we could have that shift right now. What it takes is to step in just together, take that one step, and like really believe that we can have humanity flourish for millennia to come. And that includes all the living beings and everything around us and everything that nurtures us to this moment. And it includes the reciprocity. It includes the recognition, that awareness that I can't be here without you. You know,
Oh, mm-hmm.
we had one of our global monthly gatherings was about Ubuntu, which is an African expression, basically I can't be here without you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all of that's inside of, awareness and recognition. Yeah.
Awareness and recognition. There you go. There you go. And you talked about each step, and I'm so glad that you referred to having as guests the Buddhist monks. And what a beautiful example of every step, each day, taking steps, just each day. That each of us, no matter where we live, no matter what our age, right? Each of us, as you said, that's so many beautiful examples there. And I see Arnold nodding his head. It looks like you have some more thoughts or things to share about that. Mm-hmm.
And I'm loving how we have all boarded the same bus, and we're making up a song as we go along. And the analogy that comes to mind, I'm grateful for Aldo, our lead of the Peace Ambassador program, and Susan has mentioned Ubuntu, and I know she's rooted in many cultural practices that go back thousands of years, spending time in Africa. And the analogy that comes to mind is, and we've been talking about rhythm, we've been talking about frequency. The analogy that comes to mind are the drums. In indigenous cultures around the world, the drums are how the word gets out. How do you know it? And we recognize that frequency, we recognize that rhythm, we recognize that beat. Oh, if something important happened, play the drums, play the drums. And that has not shifted. The delivery mechanism has shifted. We are still playing the drums. We're using StreamYard, we're using YouTube, we're using WhatsApp, we're using these different methodologies to get the word out and to create a buzz in the 8 billion people on the planet. We are about to change. We can feel it. We can feel it coming. And so that's, yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I love that with the drums and the delivery of that that feel, that rhythm, and there's that universal, right? The universal language, if you will, of that. And although you had referred to that in your services also with the sound bath and with the drums and the timelessness of that. And then as we continue that through these activities, I'm so grateful for StreamYard, for live stream, for Zoom, for all these ways of continuing to the drums of the message, and I'm so glad that you brought that up. And Aldo, I'm sorry, Arnold, were you going to add something else? No, go ahead.
I'm remembering a moment when I experienced the "I'm not alone" phenomenon. In 2018, I declared myself the Universal Ambassador of Peace. And in my mind, it's like, well, what are you doing, God? I mean, the Universal Ambassador of Peace? Nobody's talking about peace. And then after I made that declaration, I started hearing people talk about peace around the world. Say, oh, I'm not by myself. And so that's what I sense we're talking about now. You know, we there's a buzz going, and when we slow down enough to tune in, we can hear people saying, "Oh, I am one. Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I see it happening." So thank you.
Oh, indeed. Oh, yes, that tuning in, the ears to hear, right? Tuning in, and Susan had spoken about awareness, and Aldo. So yes, tell us more about with the you spoke about the vibration.
Yeah, I love what Arnold mentioned about that drum and everything. So I think part of the work that we do is to make peace louder, to sound it better and to be heard by everyone. Because sometimes peace for some people might be a struggle, might be something that is a conflict. But it hasn't to be very hard for everyone to be peaceful. So I guess part what we do here, and that's why I'm so grateful that we are here and we're doing this work together to bring the peace that we deserve and we share to to the global community. You spoke about I am humanity as an affirmation. And when you mentioned that every service that we do at the end, I always say, I am the heart of peace, you know. So it's a very beautiful way to make that, to embody it and to have that consciousness within when we say words like that. So when we say things and when we say or when we make the drum sound louder, we're just telling the world we're here and you're not alone, as you have mentioned. And this is the energy and the vibration of peace. Now, just going back to the Peace Ambassador program, um, like I mentioned, right now we have about 20 members that are on board. Each we develop we're developing programs for them, and we're on the WhatsApp platform right now that we're using, so everybody can share whatever events, activities. And Arnold here so far has been contributing so much about I Am Humanity. Thanks so much for that, and sharing all those beautiful ideas and concepts about peace. So um, right now we are still inviting people. Peace ambassadors. Ambassador doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a diplomat or it's a word, but it's an invitation for you to initiate something within your own community too. So that's an encouragement. We support that, and whatever you do, I was explaining this to earlier about the program, that if you feel like you want to start something within your own local center
Yes.
or community, I can help you, I can assist you on how you do it. And of course eventually you will be doing your own creative way of promoting peace.
Well, there you go, your own way, and there are tools available. I put the website up for the main site for Centers for Spiritual Living, and there's a whole a lot of information there about the global heart of peace, and including starting with children. There are coloring pages, and there are a whole range of a multitude of resources.
Yeah.
And if you are part of a Centers for Spiritual Living community, you can talk to them about that. But anyone can be a
Mhm.
peace ambassador wherever you are. It is, as you said, developing your own activities. I spoke to someone. It was a couple of weeks ago on the Peace Dialogues. James Osh, and he's in a village in Spain is where he's living right now. And he talked about how their mayor had set aside an area in their village for a peace garden to grow literally a garden of peace. Do you see? And that is being a peace ambassador, right? Growing, because it brings that awareness, and everybody came together and there was sharing, and what a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
And so, and as you had said, Susan, when you speak that I am a peace ambassador, I am a peace influencer, that's speaking that, you open up to the resources that are out there. And this is a place to start, and IamHumanity.net. And Aldo, I wanted to say also, I'm glad that you brought up, even when people are living, unfortunately, there are a lot of areas of conflict, but we can continue to know the truth of peace that is present as peace ambassadors, as all of us who practice our spiritual practice. We can know peace is behind it all.
Yeah.
And Susan, it was beautiful how you talked about the speakers that you had, the women from Palestine and from Gaza. You see, there they are living in the midst of conflict, but that knowing in them knows. They know that peace, it's present in their heart, right? It is present everywhere, and they are nurturing it. And so these activities and what we're talking about here help to remind us. We keep going back to that awareness, right? Aldo, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to also thank you, because you mentioned that the Peace Ambassador program is open to everyone. Yes, thank you for mentioning that it is open to everyone, regardless whether wherever you are on your spiritual journey or spiritual path, everybody's welcome to join. Not only within the CSL community, but
Right.
I say globally.
Again.
We're open to everyone. So we are constantly inviting people to be part of this initiative, and I guess the more the merrier. We have, yeah.
Oh no, that's right. That's right. And communication is through the WhatsApp, right? And so wherever you are in the world, and we're grateful for that. And people share ideas and affirmations, and there's a continual sharing for each week, reminding us what we can do to emit. That's a wonderful word, isn't it? To emit that peace that ripples out from us. And so wherever you are, whatever you do, there are opportunities for that. And so we'll go around here and remind ourselves of these activities that we're talking about and it has come up in some of the things that we've said about the qualities of spirit that we are, that we're nurturing and bringing awareness to in these activities that we're talking about here. And I see an enthusiastic nod from Arnold. So we'll start. Yes, the qualities of spirit that we are recognizing and practicing here, right?
What's interesting, Reverend Christine, thank you for this platform and opportunity to encourage the person who just stumbled upon this. Somehow they saw an image and they clicked and they're listening. And what about me? What about me? Well, you're included, because it's no accident that you clicked and
Right.
you've come across this video. I was inspired just about 24 hours ago to modify an image which is known amongst a lot of us coaching people. It comes from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow has a 5-stage progression, and the illustration is a triangle where the base needs are, I have to eat, I want to live indoors, wear clothes, things of that nature. But as we grow and we're exposed to the truth, the peace movements, we elevate our way of being in the world, where we reach self-actualization is how he claims it. Well, we recognize who we are. What came to me was, oh, that's great, but we're not left at reaching the pinnacle of the triangle. What we're doing today, and what many of us are doing, we now flip the triangle. We bring that awareness of who we are back down on a ground level to others. We submit those earthly needs to the universe, and now we have brought that our self-actualization down where it's available to all. And then together we flip and we move the society. So that's, that's what I'll share.
Together. Would you like me to share that image?
Sure, that would be excellent.
I will do that. And I may take myself out here so we have more room for that. But let me get that up on the screen there. Oh, look at that.
Excellent. And so if you're in your culture, you read from the left to the right, it works. If in your culture you read from the right to the left, it works either way. And so we begin with our physiological needs. Just for those who may not be familiar with Maslow, at the base is our physiological needs, and then safety and security, love and belonging, self-esteem, completing with self-actualization. So this is the graphic that my friend AI and I created the other day. So thank you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Do you want to, or you want me to take that down now, or you want to
take that down, and I yield to my esteemed host, the Reverend Christy.
Oh, no. Well, I'll leave that there for a moment because it is beautiful. And it reminds us of that evolving and growing, and that peace, that love, all of these things are ever evolving and growing. It isn't an instantaneous thing that happens. And as we have that self-actualization, we are sharing that and expressing that out into the world. So it reminds us of that connection of all of us and how we are, as we reach that self-actualization, we're inspiring that in the world. And that is, the journey never ends. That's beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad. And again, that difference that each of us makes, not only for ourselves, for our family, for our loved ones, but it is lifting the humanity.
Yep.
It is. And so, thank you for sharing that. And Susan, I see you nodding a lot there. And so what we're talking about here and nurturing who we are, the truth.
It's beautiful when we focus on ourselves and elevate ourselves. So starting with our own ability to choose. And one of the things that we get to do is choose to be in partnership. So, we've partnered. I want to make a correction. It's the Women Wage Peace and the Women of the Sun that came together for our global monthly gathering. And you can find out more information on that on our website, iamhumanity.net. We're a net. We're collecting as many people as we can and in our net. But there's so many partnerships. There's, the United Nations International Peace Day and September 19th. David Gershon and are having the Peace Games, and they're asking musicians around the world to dedicate their music for peace. And we also have the Week of Prayer for the World of Peace, October 11th through the 18th, and we're highlighting them. The other thing is we're working with CSL here and the ambassadors to celebrate all over the world, as many people to celebrate on Humanity Day as we can, to add our voices, because each voice counts. We sometimes think that we don't matter, but in fact, yes, your voice actually elevates the frequency of the planet and allows it to come together. And that is in fact what we're all about. Is we ask each and every person to be a peace ambassador.
I'm putting that out there. Each voice matters. Each person. Oh, thank you, thank you. And all of these, and there's listing on your website there throughout the entire year. It's something to notice and to be part of, and not think that it doesn't matter, because it does. We matter. Each of these activities helps to nurture and helps to elevate. And just so we were talking earlier about soccer, just about as athletes are continuing to practice, and if they don't practice, how they feel that, and how their body and how they move is affected by that. The quality of peace, right? It is that nurturing, that building. And even if we've been meditating for a long time, which is very helpful and good, remember, open up to all of these different ways to nurture peace. And keep remembering, just like remembering I am humanity, remembering each voice matters, or my voice matters. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh my goodness, we're coming up to the end of our time together here, and I want to see if there are any final points that anyone would like to make. We've shared a lot here and brought some visibility and reminders of the power of knowing that each of us makes a difference, that peace is in us. It is the essence of all life. And as we see it and nurture it, we are contributing to the expression of it, not only in ourselves, but in the world. And it truly does start with us, each of us, right? So all of these resources and all of us are continuing what we do. Just know that there are peace influencers out there right here in this and every moment. And everyone watching and listening can be one too. So again, any closing remarks before we, yes, Arnold.
Since you gave me the mic, so I'm grateful for one of the workshops I created, Diamond Within, and in that workshop and at our opening, you mentioned facets of peace. In this workshop, I encourage people to realize that they are unique. They may be one of the 8 point whatever billion people on the planet, but they are unique. And it's going through life, choosing to, as Susan said, making the choice to engage. And it's in that engaging that we're cut and we're polished, we're turned, and the facets of life with as expressed through us as we reflect the goodness of our Creator come forth like a rainbow. So
there we go.
Yeah.
I wanted to put a plug in for Aldo's article and the leadership that Aldo provides for the ambassadors for CSL. I just love that graciousness that you have, Aldo, and that. Can you say where people can find that article that you wrote?
You're referring to the Science of Mind or the CSL?
Oh, sorry,
the Science of Mind magazine.
Yeah.
That was I wrote it for, I believe that was the May issue of the Science of Mind magazine, and also I think it's available also digitally online. Yeah, and that article spoke about my own personal journey and also the culture that I'm originally uh, came from the Philippines, so we have these different cultures, and I want to integrate that to the world, that you know peace is not hard. Peace is embodiment. Peace is just an interaction of ways on we can communicate with one another, and we tell stories. We share personal stories with ourselves, because that was for me, that reminds me of a peaceful moment in my time, you know. And just to recap everything, I mean, our talk today was very, very interesting. Thank you so much, Reverend Christy, for hosting this
Thank you
and
all.
this dialogue. Thank you. And I said I don't mind waking up early in the morning for this one because
Oh,
yeah, but
oh,
but like I said, thank you. And then you open up a very good platform here to invite people and to be part of this. And this actually segued to my theme for the 10th year anniversary of Heart of Peace that we're celebrating because
mhm.
our theme is Peace Defies Gravity for 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
How about
and
that?
this what we're doing here is defying everything that is, that is seems to be against it. But no, we're here. We're on top of this,
There we
and
go.
we're the presence of peace that we are. So
Oh,
thank you,
oh,
and I'm so
indeed.
proud
Thank
to be
you.
part of this. Uh,
That's a
and
perfect way to finish. Peace defies gravity, right?
yeah,
And each of us here is a part of that, knowing that and being that. So thank you, everyone. Peace and blessings, and we'll do this again. We'll get together again. So love and thanks to all and to all watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks for being here and taking this time to practice peace with us. Join us again next week, Thursdays at 9 a.m. on the New Thought Media Network for another live session. And you can always catch past episodes on our YouTube channel. Until then, sending you waves of peace and blessings. We'll see you next time.